Greetings everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and today we are covering that amazing Nintendo Direct, April 12th, for those of you watching in the future. Wow, uh, I haven't screamed that much in a while. When was the last time? Probably when, I want to say when the last Zelda amiibo were announced, the 8-bit Link and etc. Because, oh man, I wanted 8-bit Link so bad. But, well, we'll get to that in a bit. So we're just going to kind of go in chronological order. I'm going to skip a few of the things I didn't necessarily know exactly what they were. I'm not an expert on things by any means. I don't know all of these games they're talking about, but I did just want to quickly give my thoughts on each thing as we cover it. So first starting out, we had the Pikmin 3DS game, Hey Pikmin. I love Pikmin. It's one of the first console games I ever owned. A lot of memories with that series. With that said, I just am not enthusiastic about this. It's just such a different style of gameplay, moving from that overhead managing a bunch of things and multitasking and everything to a side-scrolling platformer. I'm not feeling it, honestly. I'm kind of honestly worried because they did something similar where they just major overhaul on Chibi Robo. I didn't know that series, but that was like they changed it and they were like, "This is your last chance," and then it flopped because they changed it and no one wanted to buy it. And I'm just worried Pikmin's gonna get the same treatment. I don't think so because Pikmin is generally well liked and it's in Smash and everything. But yeah, you know, worries are there. So I'm not wild about that game, but it looks kind of cute, I guess. It's just such a drastic departure that I can't get excited about it. But what I can get excited about is the Pikmin amiibo. Oh my goodness, I've wanted amiibo of just the Pikmin figures for a long time. Super excited. It looks super adorable. They're all like just kind of chilling. Not quite what we had seen and speculated since amiibo came out. For those of you who don't know, on various amiibo promotional products, you could see silhouettes of various amiibo in the background. One of them was Tom Nook in like the exact pose that he ended up coming into eventually. And there was one with just the three main red, blue, yellow Pikmin just standing there, kind of static, kind of boring. So a lot of people were speculating an eventual Pikmin amiibo. We're getting it. It's just not exactly what we all thought it would be. And it looks better, honestly. It looks so good. Really excited for that. I want to pick up that amiibo even if I don't pick up the game. But next, and this was they led off with a lot of 3DS stuff, which is honestly surprising. They said they were going to continue to support the 3DS. I didn't expect them to go this hard in on it. But that's cool as someone who doesn't have a Switch yet and probably won't get one for a while. It's cool to see the stuff that I do have still getting a little bit of support, even if it is whatever this Pikmin game is going to be. Next, they showed a little of Ever Oasis, showed a little more of like the plot and everything. I don't know. It looks cute. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm not sure that it's something that I would get into, but it looks cute at least. And that's coming June 23rd. And then Monster Hunter Stories got announced for outside of Japan, but that's coming in the fall. I don't know a lot about Monster Hunter. It's a series I've wanted to get into, but I've never had a good like starting point. It just looks really complicated and in-depth, so it's a little intimidating. Stories looks like it might be a good place to jump into like the lore and everything, and before you start a main series game. Like I said, I don't really know about that, but it looks fun, and the one sad thing is they didn't announce the amiibo with it. Those amiibo are gorgeous. Can you tell I love amiibo? Yeah. But those amiibo, I even though I don't know Monster Hunter, I was like, oh, those are some good looking amiibo. They didn't announce that, curiously. Hopefully something closer to the release, which is in fall. Next, Yokai Watch 2, like a definitive edition thing with some exclusive content. I didn't pick up either version of Yokai Watch 2, not because I don't like Yokai Watch. I was one of the people. I was the flag bearer for when Yokai Watch came to the U.S. I was defending it. It just came out at a time, no money. Pokemon was right around the corner. You know, a lot of factors there. But since I didn't get either of the first versions of Yokai Watch 2, kind of interested in maybe picking that one up. So that's cool. Next, they showed a game from NIS, Nipponichi Software, for those of you who don't know. Coldicept Revolt, which had like cards or something. I don't know, but my one question is, where's Phantom Brave at? Come on, I'm not asking for much. I just want Phantom Brave. Next, RPG Maker Fez. I don't know. It looked cool, I guess. I don't know enough to say. Next, they showed that Miitopia was coming to the US, which is cool. Not necessarily because I'm just in love with Miis or anything, or even like the concept there. It's just a cool game that has a lot of amiibo functionality. So I saw that a while back when they announced it in Japan and it had a ton of amiibo functionality. So that made me kind of interested. I don't know that I'd pick it up. Maybe if it was on discount or something. And then Fire Emblem Echoes, they just kind of said, yeah, there's going to be DLC for it, and that's it. Nothing else really shown there. Next, they showed Kirby's 25th anniversary is this year. So they showed they're bringing Team Kirby Clash from the Planet Robobot game. It was like a little mini game in there. It wasn't super fleshed out. It looks like they're improving on it and bringing it as a free-to-play, or free-to-start at least, eShop title, which is cool because I didn't play it a whole lot because no friends, but what I did play, it was pretty enjoyable for what it was. It was cute. So being free-to-play, if you're bored and you have a few minutes, just pick that up and play it. I mean, it was fun. They also showed Blowout Blast, which is coming later in like summer, I think. I didn't write down the date for that. And then they also announced a new game was coming for the 3DS, which is cool. I would have thought that if they were developing a new Kirby game, it'd be coming to the Switch, but I don't know. Next, also from HAL Labs, who does Kirby, they announced Box Boy. The third one in the game is coming to the US, which is cool, I guess, for fans of that game. Looks kind of cute. But the question is, where's the amiibo on that? Like, same with Monster Hunter, they didn't announce the amiibo with that. Speaking of amiibo, they announced the 3 new Zelda amiibo, Twilight Princess Link, Skyward Sword Link, and Young Link. Oh my goodness, Young Link is my favorite Link. That was the one Link that I wanted more than 8-bit Link. And I just didn't even dare to dream about it because I was like, Young Link is from Majora's Mask and Ocarina, but, you know, everyone, when they think Link, they think like the strong warrior. They don't think little kid Link running around with masks and turning into a war god and slicing people up. Oh, I'm so excited. That one makes me... I'm so happy that Young Link is getting an amiibo. And they showed off the final 3 Smash amiibo, Cloud Corrin and Bayonetta. And they're getting alternates, so it's the final 6! Oh, my wallet is gone. I don't even... Oh, I need to get those, though, because I've got that almost full Smash collection. And it needs to be completed. The one thing, it's cool that they're doing the alternate versions, which is probably part of why it took so long. But where's my boy Alf? He's got an alternate too in Smash Bros. He's an alternate for Olimar. I mean, no one really knows that because no one ever... Poor Alf. But also male Wii Fit trainer, the Koopalings, please no. It's too many. We don't need 8 alternates. And female Robin. All of those kind of feel like they're getting shafted when these guys get their alternates and then Alf and female Robin and all them get nothing. That's sad, but what can you do? Anyways, super excited about the amiibo. So excited. Next, they were talking ARMS, which was one of their feature things that they said they were going to be discussing before the event even started. Uh, and I initially was really dismissive about ARMS. I almost made a video like talking about this. I was really dismissive, and the more I looked at it, the more I kind of fell in love with it. I'm not big on fighters, but I just really like the character designs. And the concept is kind of cool too. But the main thing is the character designs. They're not just boxers. They have that Nintendo charm. Like they took the concept and they gave it a twist. Like how Splatoon. I also didn't actually start out loving Splatoon. It took a while to grow on me, and the more I looked at the concept, the more I fell in love with it. Uh, Arms is kind of the same thing where it's like I was looking at it and whatever, and the more I looked at it, the more I was like, yeah, I can get behind these kind of stylized character designs with the big spring arms and like everything super vibrant colored. It grew on me. And they showed this like mascot announcer guy, kind of like how Judd was the judge in Splatoon. This guy's like an announcer for the matches. I'm sorry, but he looks stupid. Frankly, there's no way around it. He looks stupid. He's a yellow guy with a fist on his head. He just looks stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. That it looks stupid. Judd is a cat and he's cute. This guy is stupid. But continuing on in the surprises for ARMS, it's a lot more in depth than I thought. They showed off like this elemental system. I don't know. I was busy taking notes during the first part. Like speaking of my aMIIBO notes, look at how illegible that is. Where they announced the actual aMIIBO was coming. You can't read my notes there. I was just like aMIIBO. But yeah, they were. So I didn't really see the elemental system, but it looks really in depth. And you can cut, of course, that customization that they showed off at first. But they also showed that you can like change, like have one of each arm, and that's cool. Yeah, I'm just really starting to like ARMS. I don't know that it would be like a day one purchase for me, but it'd be something that I'd look at getting down the line. I want to see more Nintendo IPs succeed, so this is a good start. I'd say I was looking at the match they were showing, and the one problem was they showed off this new character and they were showing her like themed stage, and it just looked so empty. Like most of the stages, that was a problem that I had, was a lot of the stages look really empty and bland. Not all of them. There's one with like rising blocks and stuff that looks interesting. I get it. You need to be able to see the attacks coming from all sides and everything, so you can't have too many obstacles and stuff interfering with player vision. But it just looks kind of bland and uninteresting when you've got this huge stage, these two tiny fighters taking up maybe this much of the stage, and there's all this space left. It just looks kind of boring when you're looking at it like that. And ARMS is coming on the 16th of June. So right at the beginning, like summer, late spring. I don't remember when they officially said it was coming. I thought they said it was spring. I guess that's maybe that you could argue that's still spring, but late spring. And then they showed off neon yellow Joy-Con, which look kind of cool. I still want the neon blue myself, but then they also showed off a new battery life attachment. And later in the presentation, they announced, but I'll just talk about it here because it's kind of related. They announced standalone docks that'll be for sale, which is cool. Nintendo is actually listening to people. A lot of people really wanted standalone docks, but they didn't have those available. I don't know why. The one concerning thing though is that they said stock was limited. Nintendo. You don't exactly have a great track record with limited stocks, so at least it's cool that they're listening, and hopefully it'll probably be super hard to get one when it comes out, and then hopefully they'll work on it down the line. But then moving on, they started talking about Switch stuff. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the 28th of this month. Honestly, I don't know enough about the base game. It was one of the few big name Wii U games that I skipped out on. So I don't know enough to say what was changed there aside from the battle modes and adding in Inklings and stuff like that. Next, they showed Ultra Street Fighter 2. I don't really know. They announced Minecraft for the Switch. Release date was 11th on the eShop, and physical release to come later. Cool to. We already knew it was coming, but it's still cool to get the confirmation. Sonic Forces is coming in the holiday. Sonic Mania is there. And then they showed off that tile battle-y game thing. I don't really know. That was briefly shown in the January presentation, and that's called Project Mikeru. I don't know. It didn't hold my attention, despite all the bright colors and everything. I don't know. Then they showed Fate Exteria. I don't know a lot about that series. I'll just say that it reminded me of Dynasty Warriors, where you're just cleaving through lots of enemies. So that looked cool. And then they showed Disegia 5 for Switch, which again brings me to my question: where is Phantom Brave? Give me Phantom Brave. It's my favorite. It's not my favorite game. It's up there though. And then they showed Puyo Puyo Tetris. Now, I'm not good at puzzle games, and they actually specifically mentioned that it's not well known out of Japan, the Puyo Puyo series. There was a little version of it in Project Miku DX for the 3DS, and I'm not good at puzzle games, but I had a lot of fun with that. So if you're a fan of puzzle games and you haven't looked into the Puyo Puyo series before, definitely check that out. It's a lot of fun. And then they showed Monopoly on the Switch, which was just... I looked at it and I'm like, what? Did anyone ask for this? The one thing I'll say is it looks like... It's a cool use of the tablet. They like pulled it out and they set it down and used it as an actual game board. And then they got the HD Rumble dice. It's cute. It's just... why? Then they showed Payday 2. It's not the kind of game I would go in for, but I've seen other people play it. I've watched them play it. I don't know a lot about it, but I think it's a fairly recognizable game or series. So it just shows that there are developers serious about putting their stuff on Nintendo, on Nintendo's console. So that's good. Just good to see that. Finally, Namco Museum, which is cool if you're a fan of those old retro games, Dig Dug, Pac-Man. Hopefully Miss Pac-Man's on there. My grandmother actually adores Miss Pac-Man. Doesn't play regular Pac-Man. She won't play it. Miss Pac-Man, though, that's her jam. She's really good at Miss Pac-Man. So hopefully Miss Pac-Man's on there and she'd enjoy that. And then they announced they're holding a Splatoon tourney on the Wii U version, which was surprising. And there's a chance to win a trip to E3 2017, which is cool. I actually kind of want to enter that. I'm actually better at Splatoon than you'd think. I know I'm not great at games in general, but I'm pretty good at Splatoon. And then that segued into Splatoon 2, which opened with this like 80s looking presentation, which is equal parts adorable and cringy. So there was that, and it was for a new mode called Salmon Run, where they were like on this island and they were trying to collect eggs from shooting enemies. The costumes they had to wear were ridiculous looking. They were like these fishing gear things. They were totally unfresh. Not the pinnacle of fashion. But that was disgusting. Horrible fashion. But they showed these new enemies that are like called Chum or whatever. And it looked like kind of a horde rush where all these enemies just keep coming in waves and you just have to fend them off and collect the eggs. Also, they showed a new life preserver mechanic that acts as a respawner. I'm curious if that's going to be in the main like turf wars and everything, because that looks interesting. It may be more interesting than the respawners at either end of a field. But then again, it'd probably be easy to spawn camp that, so maybe not. Maybe that's not a good idea to have as the main game thing. But overall, that new mode looked like a lot of fun, more combat based than the other modes, and it's more like a cooperative thing instead of a competitive. And they were like, it's a part-time job for Inklings. I'm like, wait, so we're doing child labor now? Okay. And they said you could get a special reward, unknown so far what it is. And then finally, they showed off the amiibo functionality. Oh my goodness, they announced 3 more amiibo. I'm in amiibo hell. uh, for Inkling Boy Girl and the Squid. I was hoping they'd have something a little more different, like an Octoling or something. But they're the same Inkling Boy Girl, but their new poses, they look way more dynamic, and already Splatoon amiibo, some of my favorites in out of all of them, because they just look like, this looks more dynamic than just Tom Nook standing there, because he's like kind of just coming out of the ink. And this one he's like sailing out like at an angle, looks even more gorgeous. Absolutely want those. Oh, oh no. But they showed off the functionality, which is, they gave me the exact functionality I've been saying Splatoon needed to use for amiibo, which is basically just use it to store gear loadouts on, so that you can easily swap in between your setups. Like, you know, I've got a setup for my sniper that I very rarely use, and then I've got my main set, and then I want to be able to customize and try new things. But you just kind of had to remember which loadouts went with each setup. But with this, it's a cool way to just kind of give you a way to switch between them, which is exactly what I wanted. So thank you, Nintendo. And they showed you can like take like pictures with it and everything. Splatoon Snap confirmed. Also, they mentioned old figures will work. There will be some exclusive gear. There was like a schoolgirl kind of thing, different from the original schoolgirl in Splatoon 1. A ninja outfit, which is probably in reference to the Inkling Boys samurai gear in Splatoon 1, and another power armor suit, which looked like a revamped, reworked version of the power armor in 1. And the game comes out on the 21st, right before my birthday. Anyone want to send that to me? Don't. But yeah, overall, it was a fantastic presentation. There were some things that I just really didn't care for. Street Fighter, I don't care for. Sonic, Rayman Legends, they showed that. But what they did show that interested me was super hype. So, as a Nintendo fan, super excited, looking forward, and they didn't even get into heavy stuff like Mario Odyssey. They're saving that for E3, I'm sure. So there's a lot to be excited for in the coming days. Thank you for watching this. It actually went longer than I anticipated. I tried to keep it short, but I just like to talk. Thank you for watching. As always, this is Hoodie Angel Brain signing out.